Renaissance guy, Trent Change here at home, getting ready to go to the gym. Time for a few words to you guys out there in YouTube land. Alright, I thought I'd try something different on my videos. A couple of people do a little bit of an intro, just experimenting a little, trying to get it done. In the words of one of my favourite characters from a certain movie, at the risk of, being told, oh, you're copywriting, it's either time to nut up or shut up. And I've talked a little bit just recently about how to take your life into your hands, doing what you need to do and really moving towards your goals. Because let's be honest with you, in your workplace and everything else, you might get on with people, you might have good relationships with people in the workplace, all these things, and it's great if that's what you want. If you want success in the workplace and everything else, that's cool. Go out and do it. You're doing what you need to do. You're doing what you wanted to do. That's great. Keep on going with the goals. However, there comes a time where your work goals may not be in tune with what you want out of life. And you've got to ask yourself, the question is, do you have the ability to balance the life that you want with the employment that you have, and can you get what you want out of your life? Now, I'm facing a big decision on this with a few things, and I'm going away for a vacation, and I'm going to be really seriously thinking about things and asking myself a few very, very down-to-earth questions. And I love the job that I'm in. I've got a great boss, and her boss seems to be asking me to come and help with a few things, and that's all great. I'm really blessed with that, and I'm really thankful for that. And I am known as a bit of an oddball in my work, but I'm also known as somebody who'll go and get things done. That being said, there are things that I want to do. And you've got to make the decision, and this is what I was talking about at the end of last year, is about, are you willing to go out and do the things that you need to do to get what you want? And so far I've done that, and I'm moving through, and I'm getting the goals that I want out of life. There are other things coming up, and I'm looking at and thinking, can I get what I need from doing this, from doing the work I'm doing? And it's one of those questions where I'm really thinking about, I'm really moving forwards. Now, people are going to say, oh, well, I've got bills to pay, I've got this to do, I've got that to do. And yeah, if we all have bills to pay. We all have rent, food to buy. We all have the car to pay for and keep that maintained, everything else. We've all got those things, but you're going to have those things anyway, whether or not, whether you're broke, whether you have work, whether you are on benefits, whatever it is, you're going to have those problems. So what are you going to do about it? Well, the first thing I did, and this is something that I did when I first started getting back into shape, when I was extremely overweight, and it was a bad thing. I took stock of myself. I asked myself the first question, are you happy with what you're doing? And which was clearly, no, I'm not. The second thing was, what am I going to do about it? And the answer is simple: find a job, go to the gym, get to work, do all these things that I need to do to get to where I need to be. Now, I had an awful lot of people say, oh, you'll never do this, you're near 40, you're near this, you're near that, you won't be able to do that. And it's interesting how all these people are suddenly so knowledgeable on what you can and can't do. I went from the age of 38, I've talked about this a few times, I went from the age of 38 down to 38 to 40 years old. I went from 395 pounds down to back down to £189, and everyone's like, "Oh, you've done so well, but you'll never be able to build up. You're 40 now. You can't do this. You can't do that." You get and again, people who it's just it goes through your mind, and you think, "Well, how do you know?" And then you look at other people, and they say, you look at other people and what they've done, and they've been in exactly the same situation as you, achieved what you have done, and you've got to ask yourselves the question of, what essentially is the difference? And there's really none at the end of the day. It's all down to hard work, what you want to do and how you want to achieve it, and what you feel you can give to achieve that. You should always follow what your life should be. Nobody is built to work and go home, pay bills, and then not live their life. And unfortunately, this day and age is that you have employers, you have the system, all you're saying, you have to work, you have to do this, you have to do that. And they don't place any value on your life goals and achievements on what you want to do. And you have to fight to do that. You have to fight to get to where you need to be. You need to turn around and say, you know what? I'm taking my life into my hands and doing what I need to do. And it's a scary thing. It really is a scary thing. So, going from what I said, write down a list of goals. Write down the problems that face those goals. Write down a way that you're going to solve those problems, and then go and do it. Those are the 4 steps that you really need to do. And then the 5th one is to actually stick to what you decided to do. There's no point in going around in 6 months and saying, "Oh, this hasn't worked, this hasn't worked, that hasn't worked." Sometimes it's going to take years. It's going to take years to get to where you want to be, and it's all a case of, if there is a timeline you want to achieve it, then sure, set a timeline. But being quite frank and honest, is that sometimes it's going to take longer. I look at Morgan Freeman. For a long time, he was trying to get into what he wanted to be. He managed to get in when he was just a little bit younger than me, and he got into the film Robin Hood, and that was the start of his career. And he worked hard to get to where he wanted to be, and and how to want to be. And look at him now; he's a superstar, but it didn't take off. You got to have the patience. You've got to build things. You've got to take things step by step and build things up. Now, what I will say is as you do that, as you take things step by step and build things up and place those pathways, sometimes it may not work exactly the way you want to do, but the foundations will be there, and you'll come back, you'll keep going at it, and someday you'll suddenly come back to it and go, "Wow, actually, I'm starting to get what I want." And it's the same with my situation. I'm now starting to get, after a very long time of working, of opening doors, of moving forwards, of putting myself in positions where I can achieve that, I'm finally getting to where I need to be. And even then, it might take a little bit longer. The end result might not be exactly what I want, but it will be close to. And I'm looking forward to the next few months, especially when I get back off my holidays. I've had a chat with a few people and said, "Look, this is my plan. If I go and do this, I want it to be something that you can really, really sell," which means I've got to solid up a lot more. But go and do it. With things that you really want, in order to fly, you're going to bounce. You're going to take a jump and you're going to bounce. You're going to fail a few times. And I've failed a lot of times on a lot of things. But eventually, if you want to fly, if you want to get to where you want to be, at some point, your wings have to open up and you will fly. It has to. You just got to keep on going, keep on facing it, take the crashes, take the tumbles, and take the successes as well, because each time you crash and fall, you learn something, you move forwards, and you do it. So I really kind of wanted to start my next set of videos like this. I really want to sort of talk a little bit more about my successes when I get back off my vacation, on how things have gone, where I am and what I'm doing. So my original plan wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but it's actually something better. And one of them is the wrestling thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. So just, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, I'm really pissed off with my life, really pissed off, really, I'm not achieving what I want to do, just stop everything for a few minutes. Take time out for yourself. Just go over all the silly, stupid and infantile ideas. Start with all the ridiculous ideas, get them all out of the way, and then give yourself a few hours, just 2 hours, to play around with ideas, to think of silly things, and eventually you'll start coming up with a formula of what you want to do, how you want to do it. Now, I'm actually a mobile cleaning supervisor, a job that I never thought I would actually do, a cleaning job. I never thought I would do it, but I took a plunge into something that fitted around my life and my goals and my wants and needs. In fact, right at this moment, I've only got a couple of jobs to do, and they are actually in the afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock. And I've got a pretty good deal. I've taken a place where I can afford to live on a low income, because I am on a low income at the moment. But hey, I'm happy. I've got a car that I go around to look after my mum and dad. There's all sorts of things that I do. And you know what? I can guarantee this. If you are pursuing the life that you want, and you can do it with everything else, with all the other commitments you can do, you're going to be a lot happier than just going out, doing the clockwork thing, and doing a lot of things that really you don't actually want to do. You know, really take stock of things, really take stock of where you are, what you're doing and how you're doing it, and then move forwards from there. Always have a list, always have a plan, always have that ultimate goal, and you'll get there. So that's just a few thoughts before I go to the gym. I'm going to be doing quads today. I'm going to be spending a good few hours in the gym. I've got seven weeks and 3 days before I go on vacation, where I need to really be in the shape I want to be, because I will be doing some photo shoots over in the States as well, which is going to be kind of fun to do, hopefully, if I meet up with a photographer. So have a great day, everybody. Remember, just really, really, really sit down, think about where you want to be, how you want to be, and what you're prepared to do. Because I'll tell you something now, there may be some things you might have to do that you don't particularly want to do to achieve the things that you really do want to do. Be prepared to pay the price. Have a great day.